All right, let's get started. My name is Alan C. I'm the CEO of New Kingdom Entertainment. This is my podcast, Be Quiet, Grown Folks is Talking. Uh, I've been trying to do this episode for a minute, keep having issues. And I'm trying to do it real quick. I'm about to go to a town hall. Uh, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I don't know everything, but I do know a lot of things. Um, this video I'm about to play is from Dr. Richie's show. It's his content, and it's on reparations. Somehow it seems that Dr. Phil somehow seems to think he knows what's best for black folks. I guess he feels like that because he knows Oprah and Oprah put him on. I will never understand why she put this clown on and that Dr. Oz clown. If she was gonna put clowns on, she could have put black clowns on. So I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, let me play this video and then I'll opine afterwards because this video encompasses a whole lot of things that's going on in this world and that's going on with my people and what's going on in my communities. So with that being said, let me play the video.
Yeah, I knew this would happen eventually. Dr. Phil says it would be an absolute disaster if you gave black people money for reparations. Here it is.
The first condition is that reparations should be paid to Black Americans whose ancestors were enslaved in the United States. And this would require an expenditure of $14 trillion, which would be distributed evenly across the 40 million Black American descendants of U.S. slavery. That would be approximately $350,000 per person.
If you take $350,000 or $840,000 and you write a check to any group of people, black, white, poor, homeless, whatever, you give any group of people that much money and say, there you go, best of luck, and you come back in 6 months, they're going to be broke. So whatever reparations are done, that would be an absolute disaster as opposed to guidance and help in creating generational wealth as opposed to income.
Right.
That would be an absolute disaster.
Don't you dare allow this con artist to persuade you away from the real conversation. He is a con artist, in my humble opinion. Let me tell you why I think Phil cons people. He masquerades as if he is some kind of redeemer by exploiting the problems of everyday human beings and typically not providing the holistic support required to create a generational remedy for the dysfunction. Now, Dr. Phil decided to opine on reparations. He's factually incorrect on a few things. Number one, Doc, you owe your entire damn career to a black woman named Oprah. You need to be careful here. Facilitating the conversation is one thing. Trying to take it over is something else. Professor Doherty had some good points, and he was making a calculation based on a question given directly to him. Not the only way, possibly, to do reparations, but I'm going to break down how actually America is for reparations. Dr. Phil likely is for those reparations as well. Here it is. So Dr. Phil has some folks on social media dragging him to hell after he said providing cash reparations for slavery will be an absolute disaster. During an episode of his talk show on April 18th, the talk show host made the statement after the economist from Duke University, Professor William A. Doherty Jr., who said 14 trillion should be distributed evenly to the 40 million black descendants of slavery in America, that comes out to $350,000 per person, holistically inadequate. The payments would be an attempt to help eliminate the wealth disparity between black and white Americans, which he said is about 840,000. The professor co-authored the book From Here to Equality: Reparations for Black Americans in the 21st Century. Let me say this about the concept of reparations, because some people get it confused with a handout. You see, reparations means repair. That's what it means, typically in the context of governmental repair. And in order for you to get to that repair, you must acknowledge that something has been broken. Once you acknowledge something has been broken, you then seek to find what or who broke it, because they are responsible to fix it. Well, in this case, we're talking about the United States government. The government broke it. So when there's an argument about, well, this is about white people paying for black people, hell no. I pay taxes. That means that my tax dollars will go to the same reparations that we're trying to correct. Everybody pays taxes in America, all right, virtually. So you go to this argument of, well, they're not ready for the money. That's basically what Dr. Field is saying. Now, he tried to straighten it up afterwards by saying, oh, hey, I'm talking about any group of people. No, you weren't. That the whole damn show, sir, is about reparations to black folk, not just reparations. Reparations to black people was your show. So let's go down the list here. All right. There is a substantial history of the United States government providing financial assets to white citizens when it did not provide similar assets to black citizens, said the professor. The U.S. government gave 1.5 million white families in the United States 160-acre land grants in the Western Territories under the Homestead Act of 1860. These folks did not know how to even farm. That was a transfer that has resulted in a situation in which 45 million living white Americans are continuing to benefit from those same land patents. It takes Dr. King's speech breaking this down to give you a full appreciation for how it created immediate, instant generational wealth for white families only in the United States of America. And then they gave them money, training. There's more. By 1992, I want to remind you of this. By 1992, the U.S. government eventually dispersed more than 1.6 billion. That's equivalent to 3.67 billion in 2021 in reparations to 82,219 Japanese Americans who have been illegally incarcerated during that saga. Once again, wholly inappropriate as far as the number is concerned, completely undervalued here for what carnage they created. But it is a reparations package that the government passed. They did not wax poetic about, will the Japanese be able to spend this money the right way before we give it to them? No, that was not the conversation before. There's more. After World War II, Congress created the Indian Claims Commission to pay compensation to any federally recognized tribe for land that had been seized by the United States. Once again, wholly inappropriate for what they did, but still a form of reparations. Government repair through the payment of dividends or even other benefits. Not enough? Well, slave owners received reparations as well. On April 16, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln signed a bill emancipating enslaved people in Washington, the end of a long struggle. But to ease the slave owners' pain, the District of Columbia Emancipation Act also paid those loyal to the Union up to $300 for every enslaved person freed. That's right, slave owners got reparations. Enslaved African Americans got nothing for their generations of stolen bodies, snatched children, and expropriated labor other than their mere release from legal bondage. There you have it. So next time Dr. Field would like to provide his conclusive way of not giving Black people what they already earned. I want you to keep something in mind, Doc. You know how many families get generational wealth transferred to them and they may not be ready for it? Will there be some level of mismanagement? Of course. Of course. But that's not the prerequisite. It is already their money. Deal with it. All right. Ravonna, thoughts here?
Yeah, I really
All right. So if you listen to, uh, if you watch that video, you should understand that anyone, I don't care what color they are, what race they are, what ethnicity they are, that's ethnicity. I'm having a problem saying that word, but I know you understand what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter if anyone is against reparations for black folks, you are a white supremacist and you are racist. The fact, just the fact that everyone has received reparation but black folks says it all. I mean, even slave masters receive reparations. So, once again, when the government does something for you, it's not a handout, especially if you're black, because you're owed reparations. This is money you have already earned, just like everybody else that has gotten reparation, which is everybody else but us. So it's just like when they during the pandemic, when they was giving the pandemic money away and everything. Everybody was talking about how Trump was giving this money, and then it was Biden giving this money, and like I, my people can be so clueless sometimes. They're not giving you anything. It's your money to begin with. Stop believing that Social Security and Medicare and other government programs and assistance is like they giving you something. You pay for that. It's just like with reparations. You black folks would be paying for their own reparations. Why? And why is all the other things that the government do for you not handouts? Because you pay taxes. And I don't care if you're not working that much or if you don't work at all. You still pay taxes in this country. Every time you buy something, every time you spend $1, the government takes its cut. Government is worse than the mob ever was. The government gets its cut out of everything, and sometimes, occasionally, they give you a little. They give a little back to you, and people who don't understand think that that they're being given something. No, you're entitled to it. And like I'm gonna say again, especially if you're black. I just watched this cat, John Leguizamo, the Spanish dude. He got this show out and everything. He's running all around the country, and he's talking about what Latins did to for this country and to help build this country. But sometimes he's talking like Latinos actually built this country. And I'm sorry, uh, I know y'all contribute and everything, but the main work and the main wealth was built in this country by black folks, off of black folks' works and off of black folks' back. That's why I can understand when we allow people, other people, and other races and other people talk about we lazy. It's incredible because even now in present day, I watch the people that's working, and that's another subject that is a good segue in. I watch most of the public service in this country. a large percentage of them are black. So we are still serving this country. We are still uh, providing services and building this country. The only thing is that now we are getting, through being civil servants, we are getting a little power. And now we're starting to act like our oppressors. You have so many black people. We are so uneducated when it comes to the law. It is too many black people running around here thinking, and too many social servants, too many public servants that think they get it backwards. They think we work for them. They don't understand they work for us. And I don't care if you're a teacher, fireman. I know we need teachers and firemen and police officers. We need all that. We need this public service. But you get paid to do what you do. You're not doing that shit for free. So you need to understand that you have to respect the people that pay your salary. And it seems like uh, people are getting that all screwed up. And the police been had it screwed up. And we've allowed it for years, and we still continue to allow it. And that's why I'm going to this open meeting, this town hall tonight, because I'm going to talk to them. It's about school. I'm going to talk. Hopefully, they're going to allow me to make some comments and remarks to the school chancellor. And I'm going to ask them some questions, because I need to know why you have so much money for everything else but our children. We have so much money. I looked at, I just heard the other day the police budget was $1 billion. And then they had the nerve to go $1 billion over budget. So that means last year, or I guess that's last year budget, the police department spent there was $2 billion was spent on the police department. I looked at some of the other numbers for what it costs to run this city. And even when it comes to running this country, they always like to say we don't have the money for the very important thing. We never have the money, but you know, we have money for wars, but we can't feed the poor. The poor, like Tupac said. We have money for war, but we can't feed the poor. And it's crazy, because we know what the problems is and what the issue is, or if you have a little bit of intelligence. And I'm not I'm educated, but I'm self-educated. I'm not college educated, but I have enough sense to understand simple concepts. And one of them is, and we learned this in Sunday school, idle's hands is the devil workshop. So that means that if you don't have anything to do, you will find things to do that are not necessarily productive. And that's where our kids is at. We don't have enough resources. We don't give them enough things to do. We're not teaching them jack in school, barely teaching them reading, writing, and arithmetic, not teaching them any school skills, not teaching them shops, home economics, any entrepreneurial things, how to fill out contracts, paperwork and stuff to get jobs, to make money, to get contracts. They're not covering any of that. And that's what they need in school. They don't even teach these kids how to write their names anymore. They don't teach them. Kids are coming up today, they don't have a John Hancock. If you know what John Hancock, that's a signature. They don't have one. And it's crazy. I don't understand it. We have to stop making excuses and find solutions and have the will to implement them, because the solutions are there. We just don't have the will to implement. It's always the thing of, oh, there's not enough money for it. But you can find money for everything else. But the most important, our children are our future. Our children are our future. They are the most important thing. And our teachers and parents and everybody needs to stop trying to cover their ass and be concerned about the children. Because if you have to suffer, let it be for the children. I'm done.